Accountex, it's day one. We're at the end. It's Nigel Adams from Ad Valorem. Hello to you, sir.
Hey, Rob, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you holding up?
Yeah, it's a long day. It's a long day on the feet, isn't it? It's great. It's been so good. It's been really good.
Face to face, Nigel, that must feel good.
It's a big difference. I mean, for a lot of our guys, it's the first chance for them to get out and sort of mingle with a lot of the other exhibitors. Obviously, a lot of potential customers as well, and also it's a lot of the stuff that's, you know, they hear us talk about, but I think when you can actually go to and hear some of the leading people in the industry, also echo what you're saying in the office, it makes it real.
Yeah.
And they can see perhaps the old fella does know one or two things.
Now, you've been coming to Accountex many years now, haven't you? Have you noticed it changed much since we've been back?
I think the thing that's real, I don't know if it's just that I'm getting old and my memory's going, but there seems to be an awful lot more stands actually.
Yes, well, 250.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's a record.
It's amazing, and it's almost mind-numbing, mind-blowing to actually take everything in. And there's so many cool things happening in the industry at the moment, and I think that digital emphasis within our sector is really coming to the fore, and obviously you see a lot of the software guys here really embracing that and pushing it forward. So.
And there's a time when everyone would know Nigel and Nigel Adams and Ad Valorem, and you would know everyone else. But I guess you're saying you look around now and there's some new entrants, some new players in the game, some new products and services and platforms.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you know, as I say, I think certainly some very interesting developments. You sort of there's really always been, to be honest, always been a little bit negative on Sage, but I'm looking at some of the Sage, particularly the Sage Intact product.
Yeah.
I love what I'm seeing there. That looks really good, and they've always been a bit of a sleeping giant for us. So that's been great, but also to see obviously the development of Gex, the acquisitions that they've taken on over the last couple of years. For me, the game-changing software, which was their acquisition of Xavier, now Precision. For us in the practice, that is absolutely fundamental. But it's great to see how a bigger entity behind it has pushed it in different directions, which again is great for us. But I think more than anything else, it's just the enthusiasm. I think you see the vibe here. It's great. It's really good, and probably some of the earlier exhibitions we went to, I think people were still a little bit nervous. I think they were a little uncertain about what they can and can't do, and do you fist bump or lead with the elbow and that type of thing. But it just seems like it's almost, well, it's back to normal and some, which has been fantastic.
You've been in the game a long time, Nigel. How do you keep the longevity going, the energy going? You're always passionate when you talk, and you love what you do.
I absolutely love what I do. I just wish I was 10 years younger, because I think the next 5 or 10 years in our sector is just going to be insane.
What excites you most about it?
I think the thing is, it's the ability for us to be able to automate the processes that are not visible to a client.
Okay.
So it allows us to be able to provide more services, provide more client contacts. And for me, that's what I'm in the gig for. This is what I love doing. I love talking to clients. I remember, you know, obviously I don't do so much of it now, but, you know, sitting behind a desk and doing a set of accounts, really having that conversation with the client off the back of the accounts of what they meant, or, you know, additional stuff. Now, obviously stuff's a lot more real time than it was when I used to do stuff. For me, that's really exciting. And I think, again, seeing the entrance to the marketplace and seeing the youngsters coming through. I was talking to one of the guys in one of the theatres earlier, and seeing the youngsters take and pick up and run with the technology. For us, it's been massive for our practice, because they were brought up with it. I've got a few grey hairs. I might be able to give some insights, but when the technology is second nature, I think that it gives within a practice, and the youngsters are allowed to actually work with it. I think it actually brings an inward tech focus. I described this the other day. We were talking on a webinar, and I would say the biggest change for us over the last 4 or 5 years is inwardly we operate like a tech company. We have visitors come to us from all walks of, and they'll walk out and say, this is actually a tech company, it's not an accounting company. Obviously you're still providing those services that an accountancy company provides, but it's that buzz, that feel, that different dynamic, which is so exciting. And I think the thing that really, really excites me the most is the fact that with the adoption of cloud, and digitisation, obviously, which is the natural progression, you're able to reach more clients, and you're able to reach sectors of clients that are quite often forgotten. So those micro and SME clients, and you can actually really make a difference to their lives, their businesses, and that's really cool.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
It is a game
You're an
changer.
accounting practice above all things with Ad Valorem, Nigel. I don't see many other accounting practices here, so why do you come? What's the deal?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, I mean, we're part of our practice is we're specialist R&D consultants.
Yep.
It's a part of our business. We're still predominantly an accountancy practice, but it's an area we found that we were very well suited to because of the people we employ. So we're here exhibiting and our R&D offering, which is a more consultancy based. There's a lot of sort of tech enablers here, but we're really a consultancy in that space. But I think as well, the reason we're here, meeting up with a lot of the industry leaders, seeing the new developments and bringing the team along as well, so that they can also engage firsthand. And I think that's really important. It's that first-hand engagement with what's going on and the vibe.
Yeah. And you can't feel that if you're not here, can you?
No, absolutely right.
Do you enjoy talking to other accounting practitioners and firm owners?
Absolutely love it.
And there's plenty of them here.
Oh, there is. And I have to say, most of the conversations we have are not about R&D, which is great. It's about day-to-day issues of running a practice, stuff that's working, stuff that's not working, perhaps some apps we've had some issues with or implementation. And it's that collaboration. And I think, again, probably a big move in the industry over the last 4 or 5 years has been that move toward, whereas historically we're always a little bit competitive and, I'm not going to talk to so-and-so.
Adversarial, perhaps.
Absolutely, yeah. I think now it's so much more collaborative. Probably some of the highlights here are meeting some of our friends. I was talking to Gavin at Beach, doing some really great stuff there with some apps and swapping some ideas. And that's the part. I guess that's the part. As I've got a few more grey hairs, I've been able to actually perhaps get more involved in that space as well. And I love working with, I say, the ACCA now are very different to where they were 10 years ago, and they're really embracing it. So I've been delighted to be called on a few occasions to work with the ACCA in that space as well.
What skills and attributes, Nigel, do you feel accountants will need over the next few years to stay competitive and relevant?
I think that I think there's a mindset change as much as anything else.
A few people have said that actually when we've asked them that.
I think we've seen it, and we've seen the whole change of dynamic within our practice, where you move away from the old environment, which was a lot more of the partner will hold the relationships with the clients, the partner will do a bit of business dev, the partner will do a bit of IT. I think now you have to, practices grow and develop because you're bringing people from outside the industry in. For us, for instance, we've got our own sales team, so I don't do business development anymore, haven't done for some time. And these guys are proper salesmen.
Yeah. Not like what we were.
Not like what we were, absolutely, absolutely. I'm not selling myself. The guys are, they're proper salespeople, and it means that the clients are able to migrate into the structure of the business. They don't become attached to me, and that gives you a really scalable proposition. And I think that's, I've used that, and I've said that on a few podcasts and that I've done. Adval, the whole model is we're a business rather than a practice. We operate in that way. We respect professional skills that are brought in from other industries, and it actually creates a model that it becomes scalable. I say scalable and saleable. We're not necessarily looking to sell unless somebody's got a massive checkbook that they want to throw at us, and it would have to be very, very big. Always open to offers, but no. I think the whole concept really is that we're looking to constantly use the cloud and digitization to scale in the process to be able to reach and touch our clients more often.
Interesting you talk about your guys being salespeople. That's not something we associate generally with accountants, is it?
No, it's not. And I have to say, it was quite a big mark change for me. But I think that I think as accountants, we love the business dev. We think we're great salesmen, but really all we do is we sell ourselves. and you then get into a critical mass for smaller practices, maybe between 300 and 500k a partner. It doesn't mean it's transferable. It doesn't lead to any succession for your team. And I think that's really important. I think we're struggling in the profession to bring people in, young people, for actually come in and do what we're doing. I think
the profession's lost a bit of lustre, Nigel, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And I think we've got to create that. We've got to create that accessibility to bring people in, not just accountants, but people of all disciplines come in, and they can progress within the business. And I think a properly structured business now gives those opportunities. We had an SMT meeting, our senior management team meeting, a couple of 3 weeks ago, and it was fascinating because we looked at all of our senior management team, and not one of them was in the same job that actually started off in Ad Valorem. And I think as well, it's one of those things where we've got obviously ACCA and AAT and ATT and all those things, but I think offering a broader range of qualifications. So we've got Prince 2 practitioners, we've got our HR lady, Charlotte's just brilliantly passed the first level of her HR exams. I wish I knew what the synonym was. It's a great exam.
Take your point. Yeah, it's great success stories.
Exactly right. And I think we've got to make it appealing. And we've got to create a future for people. Otherwise, we will become a load of old grey hairs. Yeah. And that's not good for us, and it's not good for our clients either.
Final question, Nigel. What excites you most about the next few years?
I think
because we've got you for a few more yet. I don't see you going off playing golf or sitting on a beach somewhere, even if someone wrote you a cheque for millions.
Yeah, no, I'm in the gig for a while. Yeah, as well as just while they need to roll the old boy out of his bed and do some stuff. I think for me. Digitisation is obviously going to be huge. I think that we're going to see big areas. I was very interested to listen to a lecture a couple of days ago about the use of RPA. But RPA is
explain to RPA for our watchers.
So it's basically the use of robots to do repetitive work, and there is some exciting stuff that, frankly, my guys would be delighted to get rid of. One of them being the letter that goes out to our clients, or email that goes out to our clients, which tells them what their July tax liability is going to be. Yeah. It's a manual thing. You can get a robot that will do that, and it does it quicker and better. And I was talking to our team, and rather than that do that, some of our admin support, and rather than we aren't going to have a job, it was great, we can do other things. So I think that the role will continue to morph and will continue to change. And, as I say, I think for us, it is all about that impact on small business. And I think that what you will do is you'll see the accountant change from the traditional grey suit to somebody who is a lot more comfortable talking to clients.
Well, they've got to, Nigel, haven't they?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Well, Nigel of Ad Valorem, that's been great. Thanks for your time today.
Bless you, Rob. Great stuff.